when we look at Philadelphia as a whole, the area that we're focused in is sort of a lower northeast. It's sort of on the cusp of Harrogate, Port Richmond. All of those areas are places that people talk about. So that's one way to think about it. What we also really been thinking about is that obviously we can't do all the work up here alone. There's a whole bunch of different partners that we work with, but in particular, there's a couple of other CDCs that are in the area. One of them is called ASE, another one is called Impact. ASE is a little bit more to the west, Impact's a little bit more to the north of us. And so when we look at all of our neighborhood plans, some common area with some common need starts getting defined.
So my name is Casey O'Donnell. I'm the president and CEO of Impact Services Corporation, which is a community action organization located in the Kensington section of Philadelphia. And our job is to bring together the resources necessary to help neighbors create a thriving, connected, resilient community. We are at the intersection of A Street and Indiana Avenue, next to the train tracks in which Philadelphia cleared out homeless encampments a few years ago. So our latest project is the development of a 140,000 square foot warehouse. We've raised enough funds to break ground in the next month. We're going to create 48 units of affordable housing for families with a preference for people in the neighborhood, also 6 units for veterans. In addition, there'll be some commercial space under that for the community. So if there is a civic group, which we're trying to work on developing, residents in the area that want to come use space for free, that'll be available. And then phase 2 of the project will be 70,000 square feet of commercial space that will host tenants that actually provide for this neighborhood. We've been successful with this model in other parts of Kensington, and we have found that creating these hubs really help make changes to the physical environment and also bring resources necessary to bring some stability and prosperity to the immediate area. So everything Impact Services does focuses on community and economic development. More specifically, how do we garner the resources to bring to bear in the neighborhood to help residents and other stakeholders achieve the goals that they define. So some of that means the redevelopment of giant warehouses. Often it means block level strategies, working with residents to both strengthen the network and bring them the resources that they need. One of the things that we realized is in a neighborhood like Kensington, where there's no anchor institution, we don't have a university, there's no major hospital system, really the strength is in the network. And how do you leverage that strength in network to create prosperity in a neighborhood where the economy collapsed due to globalization? There were no jobs available in this area, immediate area, to support families. So when we think about change, we think about leveraging social network. We also know that the stress and trauma that comes along with poverty and exposure to violence makes us consider the effects of trauma more globally. And one of the things we know is that the greatest insulative factor to the effects of trauma and traumatic stress are social connection. It is true in all interventions for post-traumatic stress disorder, and sort of knowing what those mechanisms are allow us to take a look at the neighborhood, find what the assets are, find what those strengths of network and interpersonal connection are, and leverage that to make change and find the resources that are necessary, take those social strengths, take those social networks, and build from there.